Peace family, welcome to WISdomE. I am Shofar from Fo Show Health and Fo Show Energy Work. And today we're going to be talking about the 7 Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. It's a very potent, very dense, very powerful book, but as you can see, it's small. And it was basically the book that gave me the blueprint for my own book, Sacred Orgasmic Living, Soul. And I love that it takes these higher concepts and ideas of spirituality and makes them very accessible for anybody. I feel like if a person can read, they can change their lives. It begins with a quote from the Upanishads. You are what your deep driving desire is. As you desire, so is your will. As your will is, so is your deed. As your deed is, so is your destiny. So one of the things he talks about first is success in life could be defined as the continued expansion of happiness and the progressive realization of worthy goals. I love this. When I ran through some other books that I've read, if you've ever heard me talking or whatever, another person I really appreciate is Amin, and he says that happiness is basically, because most of us, we go from happiness to sadness, from joy to pain. And what he said that happiness is going from joy to peace. So, and then being able to maintain, but not dipping back down into pain so much. When we go into pain, that is really a place where we start to compromise our immune system. All these other different things start to happen as far as our endocrine system and everything. I understand, and it is natural for us to go into pain, but there is a level of mastery that, certain monks or, priestesses, powerful people, this is what makes us be able to become divine beings, is no matter what is going on, to go to a state of peace when life is kind of shitty. And then when life is good, just ride that motherfucking wave and enjoy it, because it is going to change and go back down again. But instead of dipping down into pain, be able to go into peace. So success is the ability to fulfill your desires with effortless ease. So his way of explaining success is ease and flow. But success also includes good health, energy, and enthusiasm for life, fulfilling relationships, creative freedom, emotional and psychological stability, and a sense of well-being and peace of mind. What good is it for us to prosper the world, right? To get the whole world, but to not have health in our own body, to be walking around in pain, physical pain, or emotional pain. Either one of those, to me, does not sound successful. When we talk about creative freedom, the ability to create what we want when we want, to be able to express ourselves, vocally, and to dance or to move and to do different things from the heart, right? Heart. There's so many places on this world still to this day that people cannot express themselves freely. So that, to me, is not success. That is not success. Is a flowing of the energy. It's basically success to me is being able to move throughout the tree of life and being able to embody and express any of the energies that we need or want or desire at any given time. Law is the process by which the unmanifest becomes the manifest. It is the process by which the observer becomes the observed. It is the process by which the seer becomes the scenery. It is the process through which the dreamer manifests the dream. That motherfucker is deep right there. I'm not even going to commentate on that one because I need to take that one in myself. So you go ahead and put that in that one in your pipe and smoke it. The source of all creation is divinity, or the spirit. The process of creation is divinity in motion, or the mind. And the object of creation is the physical universe, which includes the physical body. Okay, so what he says is divinity in motion is the mind. So what we experience as divinity, whether we're talking yin and yang, remember that yin and yang, the symbol of it, it looks like something in motion, something that is whirling. Notice that the word whirl is kind of like the word world. which are both similar to word. So the mind, and if you take the M in mind and you flip it upside down, is wind. So the wind, the mind, the churning, the whirling of the world, or words, this is divinity in motion. This is divinity in motion. The mental processes. What did the ancient Egyptians say? The ancient people of Chem say that the universe is mental. So when we talk about sensual and emotional exchange, it is the X is the mind, right? With our breath, being able to perceive the emotions, um, the movement of the emotions. So again, the mind in motion. These are the different emotions that we experience, and then the object of creation is the physical body, the sensual body. So chapter 1, and that was all the introduction, by the way. This just shows you how deep, Deepak goes in. Number 1, the law of pure potentiality. The source of all creation is pure consciousness. The universe is awareness. The universe is reflection. It is the ability to look back on oneself and to introspect. The law of pure potentiality could also be called the law of unity, because underlying the infinite diversity of life is the unity of one all-pervasive spirit. So when we look at the tree of life, as the ancient people of Chem presented it, Asar is the ability to have oneness and understanding that, the whole tree, no matter how far one branch or one leaf is from the other, no matter how far that fruit is from the bottom or the root, what little piece of bark is from, one of the stems at the top of the tree, it is all still the same tree, is all oneness. We are all breathing the same breath right now, all at the same time. Even fish, believe it or not, they're breathing air, through their gills. They're breathing oxygen, right? So, and through the trees, the carbon dioxide, and we're all having one breath, and we all are connected through that breath, right? And then if we look even at a molecular level or atomic level, the atoms moving in and out, that is like a breath, a respiration of sorts. So with that being said, we are all connected. There is oneness going on, whether we perceive it or not. We may think ourselves distant, and that's another race and this and that. We see the disconnect, but in truth, my breath is flowing into your breath, and your breath is flowing into someone else's breath, and the atoms are moving in and out at a dizzying speed that's so fast that we can't see it. My voice right now is vibrating through your being. It is affecting your awareness system through time and space. This is not live, and yet it's having a live effect on you in this moment. Think about that. This is in the past, because I recorded it, yet it's having a live effect in you right now. It's like seeing a star that no longer exists. Whether we're talking about a star in the sky or we're talking about like Michael Jackson or Prince. So all is one. This concept of time throws us off that the perception of what we perceive right in this moment is what is it. That's it. That's the now. That's knowing. The word now is in knowing or in know. So understanding that the law of pure potentiality could be the law of unity, because underlying the infinite diversity of life is the unity of all pervasive spirit. The experience of self or self-referral means that our eternal reference point is our own spirit and not the objects of our experience. The opposite of self-referral is object referral. In object referral, we are constantly seeking approval of others. This for me is materialism, right? So we talk about, Kirti and me in our Healing Us course, we talk about the different isms and the I-isms, and we have an acronym for that: racism. R is for racism, A is for ableism or ageism, the C is for classism, the I is for intellectualism, The S is for sexism, and the M is for materialism. Of course, there's more isms than that, but that's some major ones that we all have within us. And the work to have more central emotional exchange, to have more sacred orgasmic living, to be more orgasmic, is to go through our being and not have that object reference that Deepak is talking about, but to start having the we am, or the oneness connection, and being able to see ourselves as the vastness of creation. When we experience the power of the self, there is absence of fear, there is no compulsion to control, and no struggle for approval or external power. And why is that? Because these things are the lowercase ego. This is edging good or edging God out, or if we don't deal with it, if it becomes putrid, if it becomes toxic, counterfeit personality, it is evil going on. In object referral, your internal reference point is your ego. The ego, however, is not who you really are. Your ego is your social mask. Your true self, which is your spirit, your soul, is completely free of those things. Self-power is therefore true power. So I always like to point out that the word confidence is confidence. To confide in yourself, not in the person that you believe yourself to be, not in the certain race or, any of that stuff. Is to be in alignment with the timeless, ever expanding version of yourself, the part of you that is known as nirvana or moksha or hotep, that part of your being that always is and is always connected to the one. That is the, I like to say, instead of the lowercase self, the CELLF, the body self, the part of us that is limited, the lowercase ego, it is the higher part of our being. It is the self, the CELF, the spiritually evolving life force, the spiritually evolving life force, or the spiritually evolving loving force, or the central emotional life force, however you want to put it. Being ego-based power, it lasts only as long as the object of reference is there. Self-power, on the other hand, is permanent because it is based on the knowledge of the self. What did the 5% of brothers tell us? The 5% nation, knowledge of self. What did the Oracle tell Neo in the Matrix? Know thyself. It draws people to you. It also draws things that you want to you. It magnetizes people. It is the support of divinity. It is the support that comes from being in the state of grace. One way to access the field is through daily practice of silence, meditation, and non-judgment. Spending time in nature will also give you access to qualities inherent in the field: infinite creativity, freedom, and bliss. Nature is always remixing shit. She is always evolving. It's like when we have problems, when we need new, one of the biggest challenges with life is that we continue to look at things the same way, where we have formed false belief systems that bind up or contract our ability to the way that we think, and allow peace to be in our life, to allow wisdom to be in our life, to allow our expression to be able to give and receive love, or to be able to give and receive pleasure. So those limitations, those contractions that we place on ourselves, if we go out into nature, we start to get downloads. This is why the Yoruba practice of Ifa, is basically a reconnection to nature. Nature will give you answers to be able to evolve and expand your consciousness just by going and sitting underneath. When did Buddha get his download? When did Buddha become the Buddha, supposedly? It was sitting underneath a tree, the tree of life. You think about your roots going through your legs, your awareness system, aka nervous system. If you're in a place of alignment, I think if you're in a place of misalignment, it's the nervous system. When we're in a place of alignment, it is the awareness system. And those trunks that go down into the ground, right? And then the trunks that go back up. So you got the roots and you got the branches. This is the tree of life, right? And so Buddha, sitting underneath the tree, the tree of life, Adam and Eve, the tree of life, sitting underneath that tree in nature, being one with oneself, this is where we start to get answers. This is why I say vibe, VIBE, voice, introspection, breath, and embodiment. The introspection helps us to be able to step into our own being and to be able to get the answers that we need at the crossroads of life. If you never give yourself the opportunity to experience silence, this creates turbulence in your internal dialogue. Imagine trying to get a message, but there's always someone fucking talking in your head. This is the ego, right? The lowercase ego. This is what I like to call the Eric Cartman, or the Uncle Ruckus, from the Boondocks. It's like this motherfucker always got something to say, usually negative. You're not going to be able to get those downloads, those hits, those that inner wisdom. We want to be able to silence it. We want to be able to go to the chalkboard and fucking erase the chalkboard and have a clear board so that we can put up a new equation, the new physics or quantum physics equation or formula. We need to erase the board of what is already on there. In the fifth spiritual law, the law of attention and desire, you will see how you can introduce a faint impulse of intention in this field, and the creation of your desires will come about spontaneously. But first, you have to be able to experience stillness. Stillness is the first requirement for manifesting your desires, because in stillness lies your connection to the field of pure potentiality that can orchestrate an infinity of details for you. What I feel like Deepak is saying, or at least the way I take that in, is if we think about source, and being able to get resources, many people in this world, we need resources to resource. So that source within us, think about it as like a million different Legos, right? And we got wheels and we got wings in there and different, various like specialty pieces. But then we have just a whole bunch of different sizes and shapes that we can make all different sorts of cool shit with, right? And it's a million Legos. So if you got a lot of creativity, you got way more. You got probably billions of ways that you can put that million pieces together. With the wheels and the wings and stuff. Notice how the wheels and wings, again, in whirling and words, it's like something that shows motion. Just wanted to point that out. So, but we have all these different things. We can put all these different things together, right? And when we go into nature, when we sit underneath the tree, of nature, within the tree of life that is within all of us, our own awareness system, now we have all the access to all these different ways to put together the Legos. Whereas in society, they tell us because you're this race or because you're this gender or because you're married or not married, you have kids, whatever, there's these limitations about how we can put together our Lego blocks concerning pleasure. How can we put our Lego blocks together as it concerns to, or as it pertains to money, so on and so forth. These are the limitations that become self-imposed, though they were told to us by society or well-meaning parents, or maybe not so well-meaning parents, or whatever. These limitations were placed on us, and we just keep putting the same fucking Legos together. Life knocks it over, trying to get us to build something new, and we put it together the same fucking way. Knocks it over again. It's like, when you're going to learn to do something and put your Legos together a different way. Hopefully you never look at Legos the same way no more. Judgment is the constant evaluation of things as right or wrong, good or bad. When you are constantly evaluating, classifying, labeling, and analyzing, you create a lot of turbulence in your internal dialogue. Well, why is that? Because judgmental. Being judgmental, we're creating these labels, we're creating these boxes basically that we can't get out of. We're painting ourselves in the fucking corner, and life is meant to be vast. We're not meant to be trapped in this one room. In my father's house is many mansions, right? The Bible says, in my mother's house, whatever, to get away from the patriarchy. But why do we keep painting ourselves into that fucking corner? It's because of the judgment. Non-judgment creates silence in our mind. Through silence, through meditation, and through judgment, you will access the first law, the law of potentiality. When you are grounded in the knowledge of true self, when you really understand your true nature, you will never feel guilty, fearful, or insecure about money or affluence or fulfilling your desires, because you will realize that the essence of all material wealth is life energy. It is pure potentiality. So the essence of all material wealth is life energy. Is what? Your kundalini force. It's your own creativity. To be able to have the material wealth is understanding and having alignment when it comes to our sensuality, our emotionality, and our own mind, the way that we perceive this world, the things that not having limitations and everything. When we have alignment in our being, and the kundalini can flow up all parts of our being, not get stuck in the root, and trying to get material goods, but be able to flow through all parts of our being, be able to go through the whole tree of life. As you gain more and more access to your true nature, you will also spontaneously receive creative thoughts, because the field of pure potentiality is also the field of infinite creativity and pure knowledge. The more tuned in you are to the mind of nature, the more you have access to its infinite, unbounded creativity. This exquisite combination of silent, unbounded, infinite mind, along with dynamic, bounded, individual mind, is the perfect balance of stillness, movement, and simultaneously that can create whatever you want. Stillness alone is the potentiality for creativity. Movement alone is the creativity restricted to a certain aspect of its expression. This is the balance of yin and yang. If we go just into stillness, we need some part of our being to carry out things. If we go so much into movement, we're moving and everything. Now we have told the energy that it has to be A or B or C, but not being connected into the pure potentiality or source. What if what we want is going to come about through X, Y, or Z? But because we're taking a certain motion, we've caused judgment and we put a certain label on how things can show up or what actions can be taken. We've now limited the ways that things can move or come to us. You see? So this is what he's saying, is that we want to be able to be in a place of being both still and in movement. I know that this sounds kind of paradoxical in nature, but it is. But I mean, that is the nature of life, right? We can look at something as dense as a rock. It is both still and it is moving at such a hurrying speed that we can't even perceive it. This world that we are sitting on, it seems to be still, and yet we can look at the sun and see that we are moving. So it is your nature to be both still and in movement and in motion. The thing is to bring our awareness and turn it to that channel and become aware of that. When we talk about the sensual emotional exchange, the sex, it is a frequency that is always playing, but it's our ability to be able to tune over to that channel. To apply the law of pure potentiality, get in touch with the field of pure potentiality by taking time each day to be silent, to commune with nature, and to practice non-judgment. That's the three major steps. And so that is the introduction, the first chapter, again, of the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. If you like it, please comment below in the comments. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. It's very important that you subscribe. And also, if you can, share this. I'm not really hitting up social media so much these days for different reasons. So it's always important and very helpful to me if you share these videos. Again, I am Shofar. This is WISdomE, where I break down different, videos, different books. Maybe I'll do videos at some point too. But right now, I break down different books and give my own take on some of the things that are being said there, and whether commentary or making it, breaking it down a little bit more, make it accessible for folks. So if you like that, please subscribe and everything. And I'm Shofar from Faux Show Energy Work and also Faux Show Health, which is this channel. And me and my lady, we do work around energy work, sensual emotional exchange for couples and singles. I also have a book, Sacred Orgasmic Living. So that you can get on my website. If you like this book that I was going over, um, I will be going over the second chapter as well. You can look for that on my channel. And then, other than that, I usually do about the first or one chapter of each book, and then after that, the rest of it I break down on my Patreon or with my coaching. So if you like that, reach out to me. That is another plus of doing the work with me. Uh, you have access to the breakdown of these different books and stuff. Also, we have workshops coming up. We do hip hop Kundalini. Me and my lady and some other facilitators, we do hip hop Kundalini. We also have Evolve Love for coaches. Evolve Love for couples. And thank you again for coming through to WISdomE. I hope you enjoyed it, and keep that SCX in your life. Keep shining, keep evolving, and do so exponentially. Peace.